just over 24 hours, the polls will be closing here in Massachusetts, and we should soon know the outcomes of the 2016 vote. To get some last-minute perspective on where things stand and what to watch for as the returns come in, I sat down with media consultant and former longtime political consultant Paul Robbins.
I think she has the pros in terms of voter data mining, and they've been at it for a long time. I think they know, meaning Hillary's folks know where their votes are. I think Trump has run much more of a, seat of his pants type of campaign. So I think they know who their votes are in those critical states, and I think they're more likely to get those votes out. So I think she'll win. I think it'll be, a comfortable margin in terms of the Electoral College. I think it'll be close in terms of popular vote.
It's been crazy this year because any given day you could look and see, here's a poll, Clinton is up 5 or 6. Here's another poll, Clinton is down by 5 or 6. Trump is up here, poll right in the next state or even the same state, the opposite. Close, but opposite. It's all about not only who you ask, but how many people of each group, however you want to divide it down, you ask. And it's not just who's in the population, is it? It's what part of the population gets up on election day. It's very complicated.
Yeah, the first thing is the margin of error. So let's say they were both at 44%. If the margin of error is 4, she could be at 48, and Trump could be at 40. So you're going to have that vacillation within that margin of error. But each poll is done a little differently. Some polls just do random phone numbers and ask the person, are you a voter? So there's a lie factor. Some people's, well, I should be a voter. I'm not. I'm going to say I'm a voter. The other lie factor is how likely are you to vote? And most people will say I'm likely to vote. And maybe that's true, but maybe 20% of them aren't going to vote. So now you're getting skewed a little bit from what the campaigns know. What the campaigns know is they know if a voter has voted the last presidential election, the one before that, the one before that, did they move into Ohio? So they know all those things. So when they're doing internal polls, they're talking to real voters who have a voter history. So sometimes you get a disparity between what you're hearing out there and also what the campaigns internally. The other thing is it's so much harder to poll now. When I started my career, you would call someone on a landline. If that person wasn't available, you give them 2 more chances on Tuesday and Wednesday to answer your phone call. That's not the way it is anymore. So it happens with much more speed, and then you have a little softer result on the numbers sometimes.
I remember referring to that when talking to a pollster, maybe it was even you a few years back, and he said, we probably, to get, say, 1,000 responses, we probably got to talk to 3,000 or 4,000 people. What do you need today to get 1,000 responses?
You need a lot more than that. Yeah. And so that's where sometimes the error comes in. And now you have people doing SurveyMonkey polls, polls where people come to the internet, and they've had to do that because it's so darn impossible to reach people. Landlines are certainly a thing of the past, and not everybody has their cell phone out there in the public domain. So it lends itself, even though there's a lot of reliability in terms of where things are, the actual numbers are going to be a little bit different than the result on Election Day. I would also remind folks that Romney was ahead a couple of weeks out by a point, and it was basically a dead heat. Obama on Election Day won by 4 points.
What's the impact, do you think, of early voting?
Well, I think it's had a huge impact. I think if we go back to the 2000 election and people waiting in line and some question in Florida whether people ever got the chance to vote, I think there might have been the 500 votes right there that would have flipped it to Al Gore. So I think it's a good thing. I think what happened this cycle that's really interesting and will need a lot of study is the Comey bomb during the early voting period. Did that suppress some vote for Hillary Clinton? Did it increase some vote for Donald Trump? Did it keep some folks, who are soft to Clinton away or maybe go in another direction or go to a third-party candidate? We're not going to know till the end, but I think that was the real variable that people are scratching their heads about right now.
Let me throw this at you. There was a 6-day poll in the field 3 days before and 3 days after the Comey vote. It was in NBC, Wall Street Journal, SurveyMonkey. Yeah. So that's questionable right there to some extent. Questionable, a little strong word, but no difference. Hillary, but 3 days before the announcement, 3 days after, 47-41 over Trump. Does that mean anything to you at this point?
Yeah, I think what happened is before Comey, I think it was probably 4 or 5 point lead. You had the Comey thing. Just before the Comey thing, an announcement, she was up by about 12. What was happening there was typical Republican voters, females, were backing away from Trump. And what you've seen at the end here with the Comey revelations is that those Republicans have tended to come back home. So it ends up going right back where it was before that revelation. She was actually looking to get, in places like Cincinnati and the suburbs there, women Republicans who just really had a difficult time thinking that they could vote for Trump. And so his vote was suppressed within the Republican Party. There were fewer Republicans supporting their nominee than Democrats. And that's what I think gave you that 12-point lead. I think that's narrowed because the Comey revelations, I think, have equalized that and brought some Republicans back home.
You're going to have a whole 30 seconds on this one. Do you think there's a hidden vote, people that just won't say, I'm voting for Trump because of all the criticism that brings, or men maybe who won't say, I'm voting for Hillary because a guy feels kind of funny vote for a girl?
It may be more of a hidden vote for Hillary because I think the Trump supporters are so, in a sense, aggressive. I don't think there's a hidden vote for Trump. I think everybody I know who's a Trump voter has certainly let me know. I think there are folks who may be wanting to vote for Hillary that have kept that information for themselves.
Paul Robbins, we're going to watch, we're going to see. We're going to have you back on Wednesday. Talk about it all. Thanks for coming in, sir. Good to see you.
Great to be here. Thanks, John.